All right, people, we're back. Another exciting episode of the Legal Elbow MMA Show. I am Brian from thelegalelbow.com.
And I am Dan, MMA Aftermath on Facebook. Another thing I wanna kind of go off topic about was I think it was a prison fight league. You can see it on ACS Live TV, Muggsy's promotion.
Oh, yeah, I saw that post.
About a guy, I don't know his name right now. I've seen many a post of it. I gotta find the video. I've seen it once, and it was like on they showed it on MMA Live, I think, and Boss was talking about it, and it was of one guy fighting another guy, and the other guy was dominating him, and he was just beating his ass, fucking flying knees. Anything he wanted to get off, he was fucking landing, dude, and he was just beating the fuck out of this guy. And it was, and you can fault the ref that was in there for not stopping it, but if the guy has still got his hands up and he's ready to fight, I guess he's really not going to stop it, even if the other guy thinks he was doing an inordinate amount of damage, which I guess he did, because eventually he just stopped and fucking tapped on the ground and gave up. That's unprecedented to, be winning the fight and feeling that you're damaging your opponent so much that you don't want to continue and you just give up. And that's what he said. He goes, I could sit there and fucking rattle his brain.
That. I did see that where they talked about that. Yeah, that was...
Yeah, it was on, I think, MMA Live, right? And
yeah.
Boss was talking about it.
Boss was totally giving that dude props for doing that, because he's like, we're not going to win. This is not going to be on our actual records, because we're still amateurs right now. Yeah. So he's like, this is not going to be on our records, so I don't want to sit here and beat the crap out of this kid. So he's like, I'd rather give him the win, because this is not going to be on our permanent, our professional records. I'd rather give him the win so he can go back and train for this.
Yeah. And Muggsy put on there fucking, sometimes being hashtag untouchable means knowing when to tap out. And what I wrote on there was unprecedented show of mercy.
Yeah. And that was kick ass too, because that dude was lighting him up, and he was beating that dude's ass. And what he and what he did, I don't think he realized that he was going to get on TV with that. But that was huge. That was gigantic what he did. I mean, if people don't really, get the gist of it, I mean, he was kicking this dude's ass. I mean, just
that's going back out to the fucking heart of martial arts, really.
Yeah, there's no sense of me kicking the shit out of you if it doesn't count. Because, I mean, really, it doesn't count. Mm-hmm. It's amateur. I mean,
this kid's got to go home to his family, He's not going to fucking... Why send him home in a fucking ambulance,
Right.
Prison Fight League, Michigan's finest. There's some fucking talent here, man, and...
I'll tell you what.
You gotta say something.
The kid might get some calls because of this. Mm-hmm. He's, who knows? World Series of Fighting might call him and say, "Hey, man, we'd like to get you a couple fights." Speaking of Muggsy, he put that post on saying, he posts a little baby kid with a huge smile on his face. He said, "This is the feeling you get when you get a call from MMA Live and they want to post your article."
Or ESPN.
Yeah, or ESPN, yeah.
You got a fucking call from ESPN, which means...
saying they want to use your footage.
Yeah.
That's sweet, man.
Check them out at acslive.tv on Facebook. And all the links will be there. Muggsy. Michigan Fight League, Prison Fight League. Man, they got it all going on up there.
Hell yeah. And, before we take a break here, man, we got to get over there and see a couple events, because I don't work...
Yeah, he's invited us, and we've been busy. And,
Dude, I've been working my ass off, but you know what?
We might have to take some vacation days,
Well, no, I don't work as much as I used to, so it'll be a lot easier for me now. So whatever time you can hook up on getting some time off.
Yeah, maybe like end of July, anytime in August, because I got that wedding and 4th of July weekend, so...
Well, let's take a break, man, and we'll get back to it in a couple minutes.
Hell yeah. All right, man, we'll be back. This is a very weird situation to have UFC cards stacked on each other. I don't know why they did it, but you got one that's in Germany. The Musasi versus Munoz is in Germany at 3:00 in the fucking afternoon on our time, over here in the States. Roughly we're going by Eastern Standard, and then you have Stipe, which is regular time, starting 7:00 and going all the way to probably midnight. With if you want Nobody Central, or if you're really into UFC and you're looking at dudes that are like 71st on the chart, then you're going to love this card because there's not a lot to run down.
Well, yeah, exactly. This card, I was just going to say, this card also on the 31st is in Brazil.
Yeah.
Well, Maldonado's backyard.
I know. This is his second in a row. After he beat the fuck out of Homeboy in Brazil, they give him another one in Brazil. So, and we were talking about the cardio in Brazil, how different it is. So this might come into a factor when we're calling this.
Well, I think Fabio got lucky because this is also supposed to be JDS's fight. You know what I mean? Right. So Fabio jumping in saying, "Hey, this is still in my backyard. Fuck it, I'll take it."
Yeah. Still, you're going to be fighting in a fucking But before I get into the fight, I just want to say how weird it is, And Brian and I have already talked about it, and we're gonna be like, we're gonna fucking hang out, chuck some shoes around, stay in the fucking bubble. Which the bubble is, you don't go on fucking Facebook, you don't look at SportsCenter, you don't go over to Fightbook MMA or illegalelbow.com. We stay away from all those things. For the simple fact is, we do not want to be updated by something that's going on at 3:00 in the afternoon. We want to see this ourselves. So we will find our way to watch this later in the night, along with the Miocic Maldonado fight.
Fucking record the shit during the day and fucking leave it alone while we're hanging out doing our thing, man.
And then we'll come in, and then after the beer, and when we start watching the fights, that's when the whiskey and the Jägermeister comes out. But anyway.
Hell yeah! No. But, I'm sorry, though. Go ahead.
No, but anyway, we're going to get into the fight here. Go for it, man.
Yeah, but before we, officially kick it off, and I hate to keep holding people off, but Paulo Thiago's on this card, taking on a very new Russian, probably his debut. So I don't want to, I want people to know.
You got Damian Maia on here too, so.
Right. Rodrigo Dam, some people that we know about that, we want, obviously, we're respecting those guys. We're not disrespecting these guys when we don't cover these fights. But it's just,
They're fighting buddies.
Yeah, we want to, we make it a point to cover top fights. We're not going to, go over a whole entire card when it's just a bunch of people that you don't, unless you are laid off or something and you have every minute of your day to watch fighting, you're not going to be abreast of all these guys. I'm sorry. You're just not going to be. So,
and that segues into the way that we've kind of switched up our shows, too. We kind of keep it, because we used to put out, fucking hour shows. Now we're kind of fucking, Brian's doing the editing in here, and we're getting shows out, 10, 15, 20-minute shows. So you guys can listen to our shows and then go about your business. So some of these people you don't even know, so Brian works his ass off at editing all this shit. It's going to end up on the fucking cutting room floor, or we're just not going to go over it,
right.
So.
And obviously, with that in mind, too, if you guys got any show topics, something you want to hear us talk about, any recommendations,
send us a line.
Drop us a line, man, by all means. And obviously a shout out to people that have been commenting and emailing and all that shit and giving us props and whatnot. So we appreciate it, man, and keep them coming. So.
Coming into the fight with Stipe versus Fabio Maldonado. Well, Fabio coming in and I don't know if it's short notice. He probably had a month to train for this. Coming off of who did you just fight?
He fought. Excuse me. Let me get back to that. Excuse me. John Valente. Decision win over John Valente at UFC Fight Night Shogun vs. Hendo 2. And so that was March 23rd, 2014. So yeah, it wasn't too long ago, man. He's coming in here pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. And he's coming in here for an injured JDS, which we fucking went up and down that fight. We were like, man, this is the fight of the year. This is the fight we want to see. And we broke it down fucking 7 ways to Sunday, only to have it, JDS get injured, which...
We were drooling like Pablo's fucking dog, man.
And it took another whole week for us to get over the fucking announcement that it wasn't going to happen.
Oh.
But anyway, we have now fucking... accepted the fact that Fabio has stepped in against Stipe, and this does have a possibility it being an old school fucking boxing match, to tell you the truth. Which is kind of fucking a good thing for us because, Fabio is a damn good fucking boxer, and we know Stipe has golden gloves. So and Fabio's going to be the crowd knows what kind of antics Fabio's been doing. He's seen it in the last one against Valente. He's going to be trying to show off to the crowd with his boxing skills. This is going to be center of the cage, boxing is what I see. So let's see. I think Stipe is going to take it, though, man. I think Stipe in a decision win, and it's going to be a bloody one because they're both going to be, they're both going to land. And with these gloves, it's going to cause some damage. But I do see fucking Stipe winning this one via decision.
Yeah, I think Stipe is better on his feet. Fabio Maldonado is he's still at a fresh age. He's still at a good age. 34 years old. He's not. He's a vet. I mean, the guy's obviously a vet. He's undefeated boxer. 21-6 with his MMA game. So, I mean, the guy's nice accolades, man. I mean, it looks great for this guy to jump into a fight like this. And he probably got word that, he probably saw Stipe Miocic in his last fight and thought, okay, shit, I got an opportunity to jump in here and take this fight, and I could take on a striker, boxer, type fighter and really put myself on the friggin' map here, big time. And that's probably why he jumped in and took it. I don't know if he was chomping at the bit, calling Dana, or his management was calling Dana, freaking out, whatever. I don't know the situation. He was all over this, ready to go. So, and Stipe is still new in the MMA game with 11-1. So it's. I would say the experience of a Fabio could be really tough for Stipe, but I think just Stipe, I think, is when you really look at it too, Fabio can really catch somebody, but Stipe is so quick, and so light on his feet, and he's probably the perfect light heavyweight. He'll be able to get out of the way a lot of this shit because I think he's a more precise striker than a Maldonado is. Maldonado, I think, is just a tough, brute and brawn dude. Get inside and beat you up, and take a few to give you a few kind of a guy, Stipe's not that guy, So I think that's another thing that makes it a really interesting fight because it's Stipe's Maldonado is that kind of dude that can turn a corner within a couple seconds. You know what I mean? So it makes it very interesting, man. It really does. With that being said, man, if there's something you want to add to this, bro, I mean, we could fucking move on to the next card, man.
It's an interesting matchup, man. It really is. I think it's going to come down. It's going to be very technical. Each guy's veteran of the sport. They're not really going to overshoot their boundaries. That's why I think it's going to be a point game, man. It's going to be a point, and the guy that's on the ass end of it is probably going to be a little more bloody than the other one.
It seems like right now Stipe's not really a super heavy-handed dude to where he's known for knockout, but he'll beat the fuck out of you all night, He's got a hell of a gas tank, man, and Fabio Maldonado might have a really hard time. Being this is a main event, Maldonado might have a really hard time in the 4th, 5th round, maybe late 3rd. might start really slowing down. But he's also pretty good the late rounds too. So it just makes it all the more interesting, man.
Shut up! Steadfast.
Got beer.